know who committed this crime. But believe me, once we find out, this person will be brought to justice.
Are you getting a sense of authorities? This was one shooter? This was a white police officer gunning down 3 blacks and injuring 4. Wilson High School will be set on fire, and every black leader, every community leader will be up here. Black Lives Matter, hands up. Blacks are murdering blacks every 32 hours since June. I've been in this town all my life. I'm 56 years old. I am afraid of being shot and gunned down by a black. Again, if this was a white police officer shooting and killing 3 blacks, people will be out here, the school will be on fire, people will be coming forward saying, I saw this white police officer. But because it's black on black crime, it is socially acceptable for blacks not to talk to the police. It is appalling. And every 32 hours since June, blacks been murdering blacks. And y'all guys got to do a better job.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Craig Long 45 back with some more truth. Make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe and notification bell so that you get notified every time I put out a new video. With that being said, Bill Maher, he was on his show Friday night talking about the mayor-elect Brandon, which we are all familiar with. The guy that says don't demonize the teens, that they're oppressed and they have a lack of opportunity, which is a complete lie. This is just pure and simple destructive culture, destructive behavior, that those spaces that he claims that they need, where they get adult supervision, is called a prison system. But Bill Maher started talking about it. How could this man go and give speeches following terrible shootings that just happened in Chicago to go on and say don't demonize what is clear criminality? And then he goes on to ask the question, why isn't these black celebrities, these talking heads, talking about this issue, the black on black crime, which he is absolutely correct, because a lot of people don't know the #1 preventable cause of death for a black man or teen in this country is homicide. And guess who's by the hands of who? It ain't the white man. It ain't the white cop. It ain't the people on the 13th floor collaborating to bring down the black man. No, it's by the hands of another black person. And guess they love to compare everything to white folks. Guess what white men and teens' #1 preventable cause of death is? It's accidents, boating accidents, car accidents, so on and so forth. So Bill Maher asked a very valid question, and I want to go right into it. I'm going to be giving you my commentary as the video goes. If you want to watch the full video without it, I'll make sure I put the link into the bio. With that being said, let's go on and get into it.
Just what do you do from there?
Well, but why isn't anyone ever talking to like Chicago? Like most of the shootings are young black men killing other young black men. Is that not correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Much more than what the cops do.
That's a fact. As a black man in America, I am 8 times more likely to being killed by someone else that is black. They don't want to talk about the black on black crime. They always holler proximity, 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 and white on white crime, blah, blah, blah. It's nothing but a deflection for them to have to look in the mirror and look at the true problem of what's going on. We all remember the summer of love during 2020 when they normalized criminality, and they did it all in the name of George Fentanyl, of somehow unarmed black men are being hunted down in this country, which is not true. Literally, if we go look at the statistics, the data shows you, I think at that year it was only like 19 unarmed black men that were shot by police, which is doing very good, especially after the fact if you look at how many interactions police have with people on a day-to-day basis in America in a 1 year. I think you're more likely being struck by lightning than being shot and killed by a police officer. And just because someone was unarmed does not mean that they were not violent.
Why doesn't anybody talk about that? Well, I mean, why aren't there, 100 giant black celebrities who would have the respect of those people saying, what are you doing to yourselves? Why are you killing each other?
This is no way to live. This dishonors our community.
Yes.
Come on. We're better than this.
Right.
I'll tell you why they don't talk about it. The reason why these talking heads, these race baiters, these horn blowers, these social justice warriors like Mad Max, Big Face Maxine Waters, Al Sharpton, Sean Queen, LeBron Queen James, DL Download Hughley. I mean, I can list them. Roland Poley, Big Fat Boy, race baiting. I'll tell you why they don't talk about it. Because they have an anger, hatred, and resentment towards white people. They have a bigotry towards white people. They are racist towards white people, and that's why they don't talk about it. They don't want to look in the mirror, like I said earlier, to actually address the real problem. They don't want to take accountability. They don't want to take any personal responsibility whatsoever. They know that this is a clear issue in the black community within America.
I feel like it's never addressed.
But I think also attacking the problem would involve some sort of, again, material redistribution. So it's not a special surprise that corporate media doesn't talk about an issue that would involve the people who run corporations and people who star on shows to give up their money. So I think that's
so. How would giving up? How would that actually change this? Take me through. No, you take me through how giving more money would change this, because we have spent trillions of dollars.
Thank you, Bill.
On the war on poverty.
Exactly. So, and I'd be curious to hear what Glenn thinks about this, because the culture of poverty argument, as first articulated by Oscar Lewis, was the argument was specifically about it being caused by a capitalistic society that's alienated and individualistic, and where certain people win and other people lose. So I don't think, just like if everyone in Chicago all of a sudden started studying for the SATs and got 1600s tomorrow, that wouldn't necessarily change. Just if we gave billions of dollars, I don't think it would necessarily change. I think this is a generations-long project that involves really reforming the structure of American capitalist society, which I think has engendered a lot of the alienation and loneliness that we've been talking about this entire time.
But you didn't really follow the money for me.
In terms of what?
You take more money,
yes.
And then how does this change the behavior?
Thank you, Bill. Throwing more money at the problem is not going to fix the problem. I don't understand why people don't get this. It's a simple concept, even in business. If you have a problem, you suck at marketing, you suck at sales, you suck at the culture of the business, you suck at customer service, throwing more money at it is not going to solve the problem whatsoever. You have to address what the issue is. And what the issue is, it's a cultural problem. Their Black Messiah already told you what the data was on single-family homes. We know that single-parent homes are detrimental to our society. It's not only affecting the Black community and the brown community, it's affecting all of us. It's just the Black community is affected by it more for many different reasons. One is removing God out of the house. Two, the Democrats' policies of rewarding taking the man out of the house for the woman to marry the government. So we know that it's a cultural problem. Their Black Messiah gave you the data. Single-family homes, kids growing up in single-parent homes are 5 times more likely to committing a crime and living in poverty, 9 times more likely to dropping out of school, and 20 times more likely to go into prison. It's a cultural problem. So throwing money at it is not going to fix the problem. I don't understand why these people don't get this.
It's speculative. And what I would want to observe is that any structural move that you want to make requires a majority of the people to get behind it, requires democratic politics to get behind it. And in order to get a majority of the voters in Chicago or any place else to get behind anything that's going to cost them money, they have to feel safe. They have to feel that the people who are in charge are on their side. And that's why Mayor-elect Brandon Johnson needs to come and give speeches in which he says this is contemptible behavior. We won't tolerate it in our city. The reason we have cops is precisely in order to stop this from happening. And if you do it on my watch, you're going to go to jail.
I partially agree with what he's saying. I get what he's saying about it's going to have to take a democratic policy, because we know that 97% of Black folks that are being affected by this the most, the Black-on-Black crime, the Black KKK collective groupthink crime, is being affected by it the most. They're the ones that are going to have to vote for these fools to actually make real change. I don't know what their cognitive dissonance is and why their brain is at war with the Republican Party and trying to do something different. Stephen A. Smith even told them Black folks should vote Republican at least one time in this country. So I don't know. I understand where he's going at with that, but he's right about that Brandon, that mayor-elect out there in Chicago, which is a complete clown, talking about don't demonize the teens and somehow that they're oppressed for a lack of opportunity. That's not true. This is a cultural problem. They have adopted a destructive culture. This is the destructive culture that a lot of Black folks put on a pedestal and praise and accept it as Blackness, and that's their culture. This degenerate rap, suicidal poetry on a good beat, hip-hop rap, drill music. That's their culture, and it's ignorance, and it does not speak for all of us because not all of us are on board with this ignorance. So it's a cultural issue. I don't know if it's wholeheartedly going to be the Democrats that are going to need to pass a policy for people like Brandon to stop trying to say don't demonize what is clear criminality, or are we going to need real leadership? This is why I always say that everything rises and falls on leadership. People like Brandon, the mayor-elect out in Chicago, listen to how he sounds as a leader. Oh, we don't want to demonize them. Let's create spaces for them to go. Or like what Lowry said, Glenn Lowry said, leadership that says, hey, we're not going to accept this type of behavior. This is criminality. You will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. We don't care how old you are, it's going to stop. We are not condoning, and this behavior will not be perpetuated under my leadership. Period.
He needs to say that in order to get the white taxpayers in the city not to move out of the city and to get behind whatever structural program a clever man like Danny comes up with.
But, I mean, okay, so I also read this week in the paper, one in 3 children in America cannot read at a basic level of comprehension. 85% of black students lack proficiency in reading skills. We already spent a lot of money on schools. So you're going to keep telling me more money will fix this? Because I feel like this is much more connected to the problems of people who can't read. Yes, they're going to have problems with gainful employment. And it seems like, you know, a lot of times the solutions that come from the left seem symbolic. They don't seem like we're actually addressing what really needs to be done, is get kids learning, get them reading, get them able to have a job. I don't know how.
Early child.
We definitely need to put an emphasis back on education and higher learning and stop lowering the bar to try to accommodate the lack of hard work in studying, the lack of parenting's taking up the torch and actually sitting down with their kids and helping them do their damn homework. So, I understand what Bill Maher is saying. It is a true statistic. 85% of black kids can't read at a proficient level of reading level for themselves. But the reason why is culture. Culturally, there's a lot that's going on. The single family homes, the mom thinks that that's successful because she has adopted and been indoctrinated in thinking that single parenting is successful when it's not. It's a complete failure. As I just quoted earlier in the video, what Barack Obama, their black messiah, already told them the data centered around that. We have to fix that. We have to fix this, these new society government programs. There's so much we have to fix. But the main thing where we should start is how about we put an emphasis on 2-parenting homes with a father in the home, not this LGBTQP stuff. We know that fathers matter. Kids, male or female, they need the male energy. They need a father figure in their home for many different reasons. You guys can look up the reasons why, the statistics and stats on that. We need to start with that. How about putting God back into the homes? I said it before. A lot of the stuff that would be going on wouldn't be happening if they had a father in heaven and a father in the home. So we need to put back the emphasis of putting God back into the home. How about putting the emphasis on character, integrity, and respect? A respect for authority, law enforcement, and other people. A respect for yourself. How about that? How about we put an emphasis on the men getting back to their responsibilities so that they can protect these kids, they can teach these kids, they can work hard and build a legacy so that they can leave an inheritance to these kids, instead of leaving an entire generation that's pissed off and upset that they didn't have a father there. How about we put emphasis on that? I don't know, man. I want to know. I think that it's going to be difficult to create change. Throwing money at the problem that's not going to change anything. Until people look in the mirror and want to face the true problem and come up with real solutions, we're going to continue to have these issues. We're going to continue to see education go on a decline with all of our kids. We're going to continue to see the culture war that we have continue to go back to where we fought so hard, our forefathers and ancestors fought so hard to overcome to get us to where we are today. That is how we're going to do it. putting an emphasis back on strong family units, putting God back into the home, an emphasis on education, an emphasis on learning respectable trades, useful trades, not going to college and getting degrees on African history studies that ain't going to get you a job nowhere, but it's doing nothing but indoctrinating you to run around here hating white folks. Let's go back to putting an emphasis on hard work and merit. How about that? How about we do that? I don't know. What's y'all thoughts on it? I don't want to make the video too long. I appreciate you guys watching as always. It's your boy Craig Long 45. Make sure you hit that like, comment, and that subscribe and notification bell so you get notified every time I put out a new video. It's your boy Craig Long 45. You can't make this shit up. I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, oi. Your old